We found a very deep scratch. In this video, we will demonstrate how to professionally remove this type of defect. We start the work with a sanding machine and 180 grit 3M Cubitron abrasive. Using it like a planer, we remove the deepest scratches and most of the paint, primer, and filler if any was present. Then we move on to a 240 grit abrasive and even out the sanding marks left after the first stage. It's important to understand that choosing the right abrasive is much more important than applying strong pressure. If you press too hard with the machine, it loses its effectiveness, starts to heat up, and the abrasive wears out much faster. After the 2 sanding stages, we prepare the filler. We mix it with the hardener according to the manufacturer's recommended ratio and apply it evenly with a putty knife. We make sure that the filler is spread evenly over the entire defect and even beyond it. Once the filler has dried, we begin sanding it. We use 180 grit abrasive to remove the largest irregularities and then move on to manual sanding with 240 grit 3M Cubitron abrasive attached to a vacuum sanding block. This way, we maintain a perfectly smooth surface because using a sanding machine without controlling the pressure can create unwanted dents. Next, we use a 3M Scotch-Brite pad to scuff the remaining lacquer surface and prepare it for better primer adhesion. The next stage involves using a sanding machine with 320 or 400 grit abrasive, which we use to even out the entire surface so that the primer not only adheres well, but also so that the initial deep sanding marks or individual scratches are not visible under the primer. The part is now almost ready. All that's left is to carefully remove the dust and degrease the surface. Since in this case we don't need to prime the entire hood, we use 3M contour masking tape. It has a non-adhesive edge, which helps create a smooth transition and avoid a sharp line. You shouldn't skimp on time or masking materials when preparing, because the final result usually depends on the preparation. Here we can see that it looks like the surface is already prepared, but if necessary, let's also use masking paper. To spray the primer, we will use the 3M Performance Fine Finish spray gun, which comes with the PPS cup system that makes preparation easier. Another distinguishing feature of this spray gun is that the interchangeable nozzles allow you to work with a clean spraying system each time, tailored to the specific material. A respirator with filters is essential. The included pressure gauge allows you to precisely set the working pressure. For the current priming stage, the pressure will be about 1.8 bar, but more often you should pay attention to the recommendations of the spray gun and the material manufacturer. Here we remove the contour masking tape, which leaves a less pronounced edge that will be much easier to finish by sanding. Since the spray gun nozzles are interchangeable, you don't need to clean the entire gun after work. Just change the nozzle and you can continue working. Be sure to put the protective mask into a bag to ensure the cleanliness, sterility, and permeability of the filters. Now we can move on to sanding. Here is our part. We put on protective gloves and make sure the primer is dry. We put on a protective dust mask. For sanding, we will again use a sanding block with 400 grit abrasive. The sanding block helps maintain a smooth surface and evenly remove primer imperfections. In this process, a sanding block with dust extraction works very well as it removes sanding dust, keeping the surface cleaner, the abrasive clogs less, and the painting results will be better. After starting to sand with 400 grit, the surface becomes smooth but fine sanding marks remain, which we will remove using 500 grit abrasive and an orbital sander. After the 500 grit, we take 600 grit abrasive, but this time with a soft pad. The soft pad allows the abrasive to better conform to the surface, helping to avoid excessive pressure in one spot or sanding through the edge. These finer abrasives even out the surface completely and prepare it for painting, ensuring that no visible sanding marks remain under the layer of paint. Here, I am using a 3M 600 grit sanding pad, which is intended for manual surface leveling. Its advantage is its flexibility. It easily adapts to the shape of the surface, making it convenient for working on edges, corners, and hard-to-reach areas. It helps to remove fine sanding marks and prepares the surface for the final painting. Before painting, the final preparation step is very important, thoroughly cleaning the surface. It is also essential to properly prepare the paint itself before painting, precisely mixing the components according to the manufacturer's recommendations to achieve the correct shade and proper consistency. We pour the prepared paint into 3M Performance spray gun containers and use interchangeable nozzles. We don't take any chances and degrease the surface again. Before painting, it's important not only to clean thoroughly but also to set the air pressure. Usually a pressure of about 2 bars is used for painting, but the exact setting depends on the spray gun, nozzle, and the paint manufacturer's recommendations. When spraying, it's important to maintain a consistent distance, move evenly, and avoid overloading the surface with too much paint. Proper technique allows you to achieve a smooth coating and reduces the risk of runs and defects. When using the 3M PPS 2.0 system, paint or lacquer is stored in a sealed disposable cup with a lid. This allows the material to be securely sealed, protected from dust, and used later if needed. Interchangeable nozzles make it easy to quickly switch from one material to another. After work, there is no need to disassemble or spend a long time cleaning the entire spray gun. This saves time, ensures a cleaner job, and helps maintain consistent spraying quality. When varnishing, the most important things are to keep a consistent distance, move evenly, and apply the right amount of varnish. The first coat should ensure good adhesion, while the second gives the surface the necessary gloss and depth. Take a look, the result speaks for itself. From a damaged surface, we've restored a smooth, glass-like, professionally painted car hood. Let's remember what the results look like before and after. And for those who want to learn this craft, we invite you to join our training sessions. Contact our administration to find out more.